BTS news. Out of the many things that make BTS a global phenomenon, one of them is the strong bond between its members. And among the many friendly relationships in this group, one that is most often in the spotlight is the closeness between Park Jimin and Jungkook, or more familiarly called Jikook. Over the years, armies from different parts of the world have witnessed how close their relationship is, raising a never-ending question. Why is Jikook always together? What exactly makes them so inseparable? This story did not start suddenly. Back in BTS' early years, when they were still living in one small dormitory and had nothing but dreams and passion, the seeds of Jikook's bond began to grow. Jungkook, the shy magne from Busan, comes to Seoul with fears and doubts. Jimin, who is also from Busan, became one of the figures who quickly reached out. From a hard workout to a late-night dinner of instant ramen, the two begin to form a relationship that's more than just co-workers. They become like family, or even more than that. Over time, their intimacy became more and more real. Jungkook began to grow into a more confident figure, while Jimin became a haven for the emotions and pressures that each member felt. On the glass screen, the camera often captures small moments. A look into each other's understanding eyes, a warm hug for no particular reason, or simply sitting side by side in silence. But for ARMY, those moments were proof of something bigger. In various interviews and BTS content, Jikook's closeness always comes up. They not only laughed together, but also cried together. One of the most emotional moments ever captured was during a BTS concert at the end of the Love Yourself tour. As the stage lights dimmed and the members spoke messages to fans, Jungkook, who is usually strong, looked tearful. In that second, Jimin stood beside her, clasped her hand, and whispered something that only the two of them knew. There were no words the ARMY needed to understand, because their facial expressions said everything. Jikook's togetherness is also not only seen on stage. When they appear on variety shows, they often tease each other, laugh freely, and share past stories. Even when the cameras aren't recording, stories of them are still spread through the whispers of staff, the laughter of colleagues, and behind-the-scenes snippets. In a world where every move of celebrities is watched, Jikook remains a fascinating mystery. Their relationship is like a puzzle that no one wants to answer, only to enjoy. But over time, rumors appeared. Some say their relationship is more than just friends. Some believe that behind the togetherness lies a deeper feeling. Although the two never confirmed or denied, their continued presence side by side became the answer itself. They didn't talk much about this, but their actions were enough to make it clear that their relationship was not something out of the ordinary. The soldiers who followed Jikook's journey from the beginning knew that there were many things that were not shown to the public. Several old videos show how Jungkook often looked at Jimin with eyes full of respect and admiration. Meanwhile, Jimin, with his warm character, has always been a silent protector to Jungkook, advising, hugging, and making room when needed. They are mirrors of each other, complementing each other in ways that only the two of them understand. The thing that makes many people curious is how they stay close, even after each other's individual schedules are getting tighter and tighter. Jungkook is busy with solo projects, as is Jimin. However, somehow, there is always time that they spend together. From small practice sessions to late-night dinners, Jikook nevertheless finds a way to be present by each other's side. In a recent interview before their enlistment, when asked what they would most like to do after their reunion as BTS, Jimin casually replied, "Maybe a walk with Jungkook." That simple line was met with fan cheers and laughter from the members. But for those who understand the depth of their relationship, it was like a statement of promise. During the period of conscription, Jikook's story did not stop. Although separated by state duty, the fans nevertheless found small traces of their relationship. On Jimin's birthday, Jungkook, who is on duty, is said to have sent a long letter. The letter was never published, but one of the staff members accidentally mentioned that Jimin read it in tears. On the other hand, Jimin was seen wearing the same bracelet as Jungkook while live on Weverse, which made the speculation even more lively. But behind all that, there is one main reason why Jikook is always together. Reasons that cannot be forced, cannot be established by the company, and cannot be faked. That reason is trust. In a stressful industry, where secrets can be weapons and success sometimes brings loneliness, Jikook find each other a safe haven. For Jungkook, Jimin is home. And for Jimin, Jungkook is the spirit that keeps him going. Many try to separate them, with sharp questions, wild speculation, even hurtful statements from people who do not know them. However, Jikook never responded with anger. They just stay together. In silence, they prove that true friendship does not need clarification, only consistency. Army, who has witnessed this long journey, knows that Jikook is more than just a playful, cute duo. They are two souls who grew up together, learned together, and chose to stay by each other's side, even as the world changed. Relationships like this can't be made up. It is the result of time, of trust, of wounds and laughter shared in spaces unseen to the public. Right now, when BTS is serving their mandatory military service and the world is waiting for their big comeback, Jikook remains a small hope for fans. They are a symbol that even in a rapidly changing world, there are relationships that remain intact. Armies from around the world continue to share Jikook moments, make video edits, write fanfiction, and share in-depth analysis of their facial expressions or hand gestures. But more than that, Army keeps this story alive because they believe that behind all the glitter, there is a simple, strong, and pure love. Jikook is not about scandals or sensations. They're about authenticity. About two people who never intended to be in the spotlight, but instead became the center of attention because of the honesty of their relationship. They are not only friends on stage, but also brothers and sisters behind the scenes. And in the often violent world of entertainment, that's something very rare. If today many people ask, why is Jikook always together? Then the answer is not only because of their history, or because of employment contracts, or because of fan service. The answer is because they choose each other. In every turn, in every obstacle, they choose to remain there for each other. It's something that not even time can erase. When BTS reunites, maybe we'll see them again walking side by side, laughing at each other, and maybe, once again, holding hands in silence. And when that happens, the world will know they were never really apart. Because in their hearts, they have always been together, and always will be. Jikook's story seems to be a tangle of destinies that have been outlined long before they knew each other. Jimin, who was born on October 13, 1995, is a disciplined child since childhood. She is known as a hard worker, an accomplished dancer, and a sensitive person. Jungkook, born on September 1, 1997, is a young man with a free spirit, a little shy, but very talented. When the two met at Big Hit's dorm, Jungkook was only 13 years old. He is still an innocent teenager, often confused, even crying silently because of the pressure of adaptation and longing for family in Busan. Jimin, who was still very young but more mature emotionally, saw something in Jungkook. He knew that this boy had extraordinary talent. And more importantly, Jimin knows what it's like to feel alone. So without saying a word, he begins to look after Jungkook, becoming the unsolicited but much-needed older brother. From accompanying late-night workouts to waiting for Jungkook to finish showering so as not to feel alone in the room, it all starts with small things. The staff at Big Hit often mentions that of all the members, Jimin and Jungkook are the two people who are most often seen spending time together outside of the official schedule. They can sit for hours in the kitchen just to talk about the future, while drinking milk or eating a small snack. It is moments like these that make their relationship irreplaceable. They grew up together, watching each other fall and rise over and over again.